I agree with Sarah. I'd like to thank my parents, Troy and Joy, and just all the people who've invested in me as well. But I have three things I wanted to quickly talk about. As far as what HCA has meant to me, there was one thing in particular that comes into mind was just the coaches and the teachers, like Sarah was saying. I don't know if you guys know this, but all of you students in this room, you're blessed. I challenge you to find a teacher or a coach at this school that you cannot go talk to about something you're struggling with. I dare you. Go for it. Find it. Try it. Prove me wrong. But I really haven't found that here. It's been impossible for me to find someone who, when I'm having a rough day, I can't go and say, hey, can you talk with me? Can you pray for me? I'm really having a rough day. Things aren't going the way I planned. So I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to really just take the teachers for more than just classroom instruction, but they want to be invested in your lives far beyond just the stuff that you find in a textbook. So I encourage you to follow up with that because it's meant a lot to me. And thank you, teachers. Also, as far as what I would like to leave behind, one thing in particular came to mind. James Baum, I'm not sure where he's at, but I'm leaving him the mentoring program that we started this year, and he's really shown himself to be a strong leader. I just really like what I've seen, and I encourage you guys, for those of you who've done the mentoring program this year, I hope you were blessed as much as I was. I still remember that first Monday when we started, didn't know who was going to show up necessarily, if everybody was serious, how's it going to go. This auditorium was filled with students talking to each other and just going through, the things that they're struggling with and the things that they're dealing with and things that are going great for them. And, it's a great program. If you're an older student looking to invest in someone, it's a great thing to do. If you're a younger student, maybe not so sure about what high school's like, or you're just starting out in high school, give it a try. But James, I leave that to you. Finally, I want to talk about legacy and just what it means to me. I was reading my Bible recently, and I'm going to challenge you to make some enemies. I was reading a story about a guy named Daniel, and you guys might know some of the story, but basically, the story goes, King Darius has 120 rulers over his kingdom. That's how he wanted to do it. So 120 rulers. Over those 120 rulers, he chose 3 chief rulers, so to speak, to be over those. So of those 3, Daniel was one of them. So he's high up there. He's got a pretty nice gig, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to read a quick section out of Daniel 6. So this is after, he's one of the 3 over the 120. Then this Daniel became distinguished above all other high officials and satraps or rulers because an excellent spirit was in him. Obviously that might have something to do with Holy Spirit. And the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Then the high officials and satraps sought to find a ground for complaint against Daniel with regard to the kingdom, but they could find no ground for complaint or any fault because he was faithful. So they tried to find something wrong with what he was doing. They tried to, man, this guy's got to be too good to be true. There's no way. He's in charge of the kingdom now. There's no way he's this good. They couldn't find anything. Then these men said, we shall not find any ground for complaint against this Daniel unless we find it in connection with the law of his God. I was just thinking, wow, what would that look like if someone couldn't find anything wrong with anything you do except that you're following God too much, or you're following God with everything you have. So then the officials go to the king and say, look, we got to find something wrong with this God thing because Daniel, he's going a little crazy over there. So they talk and persuade the king, say, look, no one's praying anymore. If they do it, go into the lion's den. So here's what happened. So Daniel heard the news. Verse 10, he says, when Daniel knew that the document had been signed, he went to his house where he had windows in the upper chamber open toward Jerusalem. He got down on his knees about 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he had done previously. He did the exact same thing day in and day out, again and again, just like you brush your teeth every morning, hopefully. He went and kept repeating the same thing that had gotten him to the place of power that he had. He didn't care that he was going to be thrown to the lion's in. So that leaves me with a challenge. I hope you've seen from the seniors this year, we're not perfect by any means, but hope you've seen that we're trying to model something like that. But Daniel, when he heard that, he did not change. And I hope, back to making the enemies comment earlier, I hope that you are not afraid to step out and say, I believe this is what I'm about, I believe this Bible is true, and I'm going to live by it, and I don't care who comes in my way. I don't care what my friends say, I don't care if I don't get invited to any of the parties anymore. You're just going to leave it, and you're going to follow what is going to last way much longer than this life. So I encourage you, finally, students, but especially the rising seniors, don't back down, don't take anything for granted, and just really live like Daniel did. When you're challenged, make some enemies, make some people upset at you for doing what's right. Thank you.